African American men in La Crosse County are 8 times more likely to be arrested than the general population. News 8's Scott Behrens tells us how some members of our community are trying to change it.
Martha, a 2013 study from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee found that Wisconsin has the highest per capita incarceration rate of African American men. New data shows that African American men and women in La Crosse County are twice as likely to get arrested compared to the state average. The Criminal Justice Management Council is trying to figure out why this problem exists and what can be done to change it.
The fact of the matter is that there is no one that doesn't have some kind of bias.
La Crosse County Circuit Judge Ramona Gonzalez says the high arrest rate of African Americans in La Crosse is a complicated issue.
I don't think you can put your finger on a particular cause.
Part of the problem stems from people having an implicit bias.
You look different than I look, so I got to be afraid of you, and so I'm going to make an assumption about who you are based upon the fact that you're not the same as me.
For example, Gonzalez said law enforcement may receive an anonymous call that there's 2 suspicious African American men in a parking lot. Not having any more information, police will likely check out the situation to make sure there's not a real threat.
Imagine if you're just 2 guys in the parking lot at the McDonald's and all of a sudden law enforcement shows up. That could easily escalate to, what the heck are you talking to me for? Why are you here? And the next thing you know, I got a disorderly conduct because I'm not taking kindly to law enforcement stopping me at a McDonald's.
Gonzalez says it's important for everyone, including police officers and judges, to be aware of their own biases.
The trick is to understand what our biases, our implicit biases and preferences are.
The new data is changing the way officials see this issue.
It's not a new problem or a new issue. We've always dealt with it, but it's going to be set as a priority for next year. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can within the system to reduce those numbers and make sure that we're being fair to all people.
And even though it's a complicated issue, Gonzalez is optimistic.
I have every confidence that the community that I live in, that we live in and share, is one of the best in the state and one of the best in the country at not hiding from the mistakes we make and from learning from those mistakes.
Because it's such a complicated issue, the Criminal Justice Management Council says it's going to take time to fix. But one of the first steps is acknowledging that there's a problem and trying to do something about it. Martha?
Thanks a lot, Scott. And also, if you would like to discover what your implicit biases may be, you can always take a quick quiz at implicit.harvard.edu.